There's a line that I keep repeating: stop asking for directions from people who have never been where you're going. And I think that describes a lot of my journey in entrepreneurship, because I kept asking for advice from people who've never run a business. Unfortunately, our education system, the Kenya School of Law and undergrad, no one sat us down to tell us, you need a business plan, you need to have a strategic plan, you need to have SOPs in place. Right before COVID hit, there's a payment that came through. It was a good payment. What did I do? I renovated my space. March 2020, we were on lockdown.
And you don't need your office.
I don't need the space for, I think we closed down for 6 months.
Yeah,
we closed down for 6 months. If you're starting your farm, for me, you need to have a nest egg. My definition of nest egg is, before you quit that job, between 6 months to 1 year reserve, where you're sure if no clients walks in that door, I'm able to keep running my expenses and living my life as I am right now.
Probably my idea of virtual office is not even a place where you get the address. It's literally a cloud farm. Even when you go to my website, it's literally a cloud farm. Once I resigned, first of all, I think they were very upset. They let me go before my resignation.
Before your notice.
Yeah. And so I was the fear. So I was wondering, oh my God, was this the wrong move? What have I done? Oh, narudi ocha. The first year, I don't know about you, but I lost money. My nest egg was home, my mother's house. If it fails,
go home.
I go home.
What do you mean when you say you lost money?
Frst of all, I had never done litigation. My first criminal case was a pro bono. And then, that magistrate in Thika thrashed me in front, and then it's in front of my father. And now he's wondering, nimekuwa nikilipa school fees ya nini?
Are you truly an advocate? Hi, how are you? Are you a legal entrepreneur? Well, these ladies are, and we are so excited to have a conversation around the business of law. When going through Kenya School of Law, uni into Kenya School of Law, we rarely have the conversation about what the business of law looks like. It's more about the content of the law rather than the business of the law. And then you come out and then you decide, I want to be a founder, CEO of my own law firm, and you have to balance between the briefs and the business. Well, this is the conversation that will help you, we hope, along that journey. And this is in anticipation for the Legal Entrepreneurs Day that is part of the Law Career Fair KE, which we run. So, introducing my guests, let us start with you.
Right, so my name is Halima Nyakinyo Magairo. I run a law firm, Nyakinyo Magairo Law Advocates, and I also run a legal entrepreneur community, young legal entrepreneurs, 0 to 5 years in practice and just starting their own firms. This is a community that helps and works with young lawyers that are starting in the business of law.
Fantastic. What about you?
My name is Veronica Kimiti. I'm the managing partner at Kimiti and Associates Advocates LLP. I've been running the firm since its inception in 2016.
Yeah, you can say it with your chest. It's a 10-year-old firm. You're a 10-year-old entrepreneur.
Yes, so we hit 10 years in April.
Yay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so mind telling us a little bit about, when were you admitted to the bar?
I was admitted to the bar in December of 2014.
2014.
December 3rd, 2014.
Okay. And you?
Very important dates. 2nd of March, 2023.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mine is, I keep mixing up 14th and 16th of May, 2014. 2014, yes. 16th of May. 14th of May. We shall confirm at the end of this conversation. But yeah, let's essentially go into it. At the end of the day, what we want is for the entrepreneur who's watching to pick, a few things about what the process or what the journey looks like, right? So let's start with you. You're admitted to the bar in 2023.
Yes.
And you started your firm in 2024.
In 2020, it registered in 2024 in December, started officially in January 2025.
Okay, so it's a baby firm.
It's a baby farm. We just started winning.
Fantastic. Are you a solopreneur?
Yes, I am a solopreneur at the moment.
Fantastic. So for a person who was admitted in 2023 to by December 2024 be saying, I need to be my own boss. Yeah. What sent you in that direction?
So, the haves and the have-nots. Ideally, I felt that it is important for me to just venture on my own because I had seen, let me call them my seniors, just 3 years in practice, 4 years in practice before me. Employment gave them a sense of comfort. They were very comfortable and they were really good. They were really good at what they did. And I would watch them and wonder, if you were to do this by yourself, I think it would even give you satisfaction. So I sat within my thoughts. It took me, and if I was to do it immediately, I would have started it in 2024. But it took me an year of praying and convincing my parents that, you know what, I think I should do this. And the have-not part is, I think it got too ingrained in my head that it put me in positions where I thought about it so much, it now became mental. I couldn't sleep, I needed to figure something different, completely different, just for myself. And the day I gave my resignation letter is the day I sent my papers to BRS. So yeah.
Wow. So where were you before? Was it a law firm? Was it in-house somewhere?
No, it was a law firm. It was a law firm. Yes.
Right. Yeah. For a lot of people, it is the experiences that they had in the firm or working with seniors that got them being like, excuse me, I do not want to do this anymore. Can I go and sort of chart my own path? Did you have such an experience, or for you it was just, me as Halima, I feel like this is the path I need to take?
Well, yes, I had those experiences, lots of them, but ideally my seniors, because I had 2 seniors during pupillage and now my first year of employment, and they were medium-sized law firms, and they were really doing good. I could see that they were really doing good. And the first one, my senior was running it as a solo practice, and she was excellent. And I felt we shared the same demeanor. Her office was not gray and brown. It was colorful with color. It looked good, and blue and greens. We had a beautiful, there's that nice perception of you can actually do it without the boringness, for lack of a better word,
stiffness, yes.
And the stiffness. And apparently I didn't get to do much litigation during that period, even during my employment with the other firm. Then I felt that my wings are really growing and they're lacking space to stretch out, because you'd find you're the only associate, pupils come, you train them, they go. In that 1 year I had trained, in that year I was feeling actually very confident. And when we had the conversation to renew my contract, one question that made me know it's time for you to go was, when you're renewing your contract and you're reviewing it and they ask you, of course, you're talking about the pay. And the reason for not giving the right pay was, do you know how many people your age are getting what you're getting? There, I had my answer. Like, so now we're talking about age, not value. Well, I felt no. So now I need now to go, because clearly if I worked this hard for myself and by myself without another like senior associate there, and I made this work move, I definitely can do this by myself. So there are challenges, and those were just, I call them confirmations. Yes.
That sent you in the direction of setting up your firm. Okay. What about you? So you were admitted to the bar almost 12 years ago, and your firm is 10.
Yes.
So that means that you had a bit of a stint somewhere before you started your firm.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
So after my pupillage, I got an opportunity to hold over at another law firm, and I think this is the firm where I keep telling my former boss that it was baptism by fire, because I had to learn a lot of the things on the job. So I remember one of the first assignments that I did after admission was handling a criminal matter in Kibera. And just to explain how it was on the job, I didn't even know how to take an accused person through plea, like to make the plea application. So I listened to the advocate ahead of me, then I wrote down everything that they'd said, and I just regurgitated everything. So anyway, that's the firm where I expanded my knowledge base. I was able to handle a lot of litigation matters. My employer at the time gave me an opportunity to run with files. So, because for a long time I was the only associate as her situation, and I was able to gain a lot of knowledge and experience in litigation. By the time I was registering the firm, because there was a bit of overlap between me registering and me leaving to actually now run it. At the time I was registering it, a lot of it was, there were people, maybe family members, who wanted something done, and maybe they couldn't afford the fees for where I was at, or just someone who wanted me to handle it personally, or some situation like that. So I just registered it for those small briefs that sometimes we come by. So by the time I was leaving, though, it was in a bid to expand my practice areas, because a lot of it was litigation. What I was doing at that firm was litigation, but I felt that I needed to also learn more about commercial conveyancing, handle a lot more briefs than I was handling at the time. So a lot of it was that. And then, to be completely honest, by the end of 2015, I think I was burnt out. By the time I was giving my notice, I was just burnt out. I think we joked for a while that I should just have, maybe instead of resigning, I should have just asked for vacation time, because I was really burnt out. I remember I took time out to just rest. Yeah, but a lot of it was that, and as I say, the rest is history.
Okay, so now there's something that both of you have said. Both of you were the only associate. How did that prepare you for legal entrepreneurship? Because I'm feeling like there's something in that. Yeah.
For me, it's because I had already run the files, and then just to note that I was only dealing with the legal side of things. I was never dealing with the admin or whatever. But yes, the confidence I had to even say, let me try this out, is because I'd already run a file from start to finish, without maybe much intervention from my boss at the time. So it's something that I'd done, and I knew I could do it, like run a file from start to finish. So I think that's one of the advantages. And then I was also familiar with the registry. In pupillage, I had done service, so I knew the entire process. I think that's also something that didn't make me pause to think, oh, what am I going to do about service or filing things at the registry? Because I'd already done it when I was under employment, and I figured I could do it as well when it was my own firm.
Same for you?
Completely. I think when you're destined for something, sometimes you don't know what your destiny is. And it probably, if it put me, I was in big law and I didn't know how these things are done, I would never have thought to have my own farm, because I also didn't take time to think, oh, and how do I go to the registry? Oh, and who helps me this? I had contacts, and until now they call me, hi, can you send me the contact of so and so? And because I did so many conveyancing files, even outside Nairobi, Mumias, Busia, Uganda, at the border. So I got to know so many people. Sometimes look at my inbox and I'm at my contact, I'm like, Busia. What? Who is this registry? So it really prepares you, and it makes you, I mean, it's out of the box. You don't even have to really think about it. And the fact that you're running with the files, especially, as I said, we didn't do much litigation, but the corporate commercial aspect, you're able to, it gives you confidence, because if you have 5 clients to go to, you can't go to all the 5 at the same time, and your boss cannot go to all the 5, so you have to go and carry out some of these meetings. You have to go and meet boards. It gave me so much confidence, speech, how to, posture, all those things. And these are things that I am now using. It gives you a lot of confidence, even when you're giving out your fees, you don't stutter. You don't like, this is what I have, what do you have, like, give me an offer. So a lot was learned through that process, and ideally I'm actually grateful for such opportunities. Yes.
Fantastic. So let's talk about you confident girls. I'm going to do this, I'm doing it, I have registered. Okay. Where do you go from there? Like, how did you start, practically speaking? Because when we think about setting up a firm, traditionally the firms were an actual physical office with a sign on the door, with a team, but you're starting. So where did you start? Maybe we can start here.
Yeah, so I left employment at the end of March 2016, sorry. And as I said, I took some time off to just rest. But fortunately, my former boss, who's a friend of mine till date, I was still handling some of his files. So I'd hold his briefs. He was doing a lot of, as I said, litigation, but it was insurance matters, so defenses. So some of them are files which I had previously been handling before I left. And just that transition before he could get a replacement, I was able to step in, and he'd outsource the work to me. So that's how I would make a few coins here and there. I didn't have a physical office when I started out. I was using a virtual office. I don't know whether they're still there, but it was Target Office Space at TRV Plaza in Westlands, Muthithi Road. Okay. So they'd give you an identity package. So you have your name on the wall or whatever it is. They'd receive your mail. And they'd give you boardroom space if you needed a meeting, or if you had clients who needed to see you in a physical space. So that's basically how I started out. Then a lot of it was also referrals, of course, family, friends, any legal work that they would find, they would refer to me. And even when I was attending court, these briefs that I was holding, because I didn't only hold brief for him, there were other people who also gave me the opportunity to hold their brief. And then we'd negotiate a pay. I'd charge for attending court, I'd charge for drafting pleadings, drafting submissions. So that's how I'd make some coins here and there.
So when people think about the hustling, as a lawyer, that's what that looks like.
Yes, it that's actually what it was. And then eventually I got a space, my first space, which actually I left last year. So that was some place in town, Uni Africa House. I think a lot of people know me from there because I've stuck in that space for long, but it served me well. So I got that space at the end of July the same year, and it was totally a leap of faith. It was the office that I got is the same one I was in before leaving, but it was partitioned, and I took one side and the other side was vacant. I did not know where the rent was coming from, because I remember the rent was amounting to around 22,000 per month. I had no idea where I was getting the 22,000. But mimi ni nani? I was ambitious. Let me tell you, by August I had 2 employees.
Wait, this is end of July.
Yes, August I had a friend of mine actually just came in. She stepped in to handle my front office work.
Wow.
So I was paying her. I wasn't paying her a lot, but I was paying her something at the end of the month. And then now we got a clerk to also come in and work with us. So that's in 2016. July, yeah. So August is when now we officially started operations, because I think I took some time to repartition the space, do some branding, get furniture. I remember there's a friend of mine, a few friends of mine had started their own farms, so they had contacts. I remember there was a furniture guy at Ngara who used to sell discount furniture.
Oh, it was discount, not the Nini Mtumba furniture, like
It
pre-used.
is,
Yes.
But now the name of the Nini was discount furniture. And then he had really good rates. And the furniture was not really banged up. It was good quality furniture. So I got furniture.
It was like 5K a seat.
3K actually.
Oh,
I got 3K.
you got a deal.
So for the visitors seats they were like 3K, and then now mine, which was supposed to be the executive seat, was I think 5K or something like that.
Yes.
So I spent some money
Shout
on
out
that.
to those people in Gara.
Right.
They're really saving people out here.
Yeah, so I got sorted. So at the time I had furniture, I had staff. Now it was to figure out, okay, so where are we getting the clients from?
Business,
And fortunately, by some stroke of luck, I believe a few months later, we were able to let out the space to a company that was doing credit lending. So they also now gave us business. So we used to do their contracts. So we'd share the same door, but now they had their space, I had my space. So I did a lot of their contract work. They're my clients to date.
Oh.
So they moved, they expanded, they grew.
And they moved with you. They grew with you.
Yes. So there's been a lot of that in my journey, where I've grown with people, or people I've worked with them from the inception. Maybe there are some who I registered their companies for them, and to date I'm still like running their corporate work or employment work. So we've diversified. I've grown with them as well, even as their business has expanded. We've expanded together.
Fantastic. That is truly inspirational. What about you?
So I've also ran with probably my idea of virtual office is not even a place where you get the address. It's literally a cloud farm. Even when you go to my website, it's literally a cloud farm. And where I got this idea from, once I resigned, first of all, I think they were very upset. They let me go before my resignation.
Before your notice.
Yeah. And so I was the fear. So I was wondering, oh my God, was this the wrong move? What have I done? Oh, narudi ocha. But I met a friend, in fact, just a neighbor we have a neighborhood community. And in the group, there was just conversations about that day. People start talking about work, and like, yeah, I've started my own farm, yada yada yada. Someone comes to my inbox and says, by the way, do you think you can do retainer for another farm, someone who's working but doesn't want to close their farm? They just want their farm to continue. And I'm like, I've never heard of that, but you know what? Yes, I can. And so it's also a virtual farm. And she has been like that for the last 10 years.
Oh.
She has corporate clients and now on retainer. So she puts me on retainer as a consultant. So I don't have to close my farm. So you do a consultation contract, like a long-term contract. And that is how I landed my very first client. Same December. December, we even had end of year party with that. So
you already had that team.
So it can actually work. And taking up corporate clients was really, I think it was towards the right direction, because these people, you as a lawyer, you mostly go to them. You go to their office because you're meeting the directors and you're having such meetings. So you get to go to them and they don't have to go to you. So in between, I met a relative that's a lawyer in Westlands. I never knew her. She has an office. It's like, you know what? You can be coming in and meeting your clients. And that is why I got my office, which I never go to because now there's no work that is there. Even when they say, I think I've just received very few physical emails, and packages that get to be dropped there. But all through I've been working from home, my desk. I made it very simple for me because I didn't want it to eat, that part of the business to eat me up until I am consistent. I have clients that are consistent. So once I got her as a client, I was able to now get other clients, like individual clients, and started setting up businesses and companies. So I'm able to run with those and run their legal affairs. Then just this year, one of the clients that I'm working with wanted to undergo liquidation. And we sat in a very long meeting and I told them, no, you guys can't do that. You guys are just suffering right now. I mean, if I look at your accounts, even the auditor says, you just need to cover this part and it's okay. You can make payment plans. You can figure out your business. And they called me again for a meeting and said, we've decided we're not liquidating. This is what we're going to do. But we don't want to lose this space. Because if people work from home, because we changed their contracts from employment to consultancies, reduced the workflow and the workforce. But so you see, most people are home and they're not in the office, and they have a lot of space. And like, so what can we do with this office? I was like, can I bring my desk? Like, no, it has a desk. And because I didn't want to be under the anti-umbrella anymore, so that now I can stand on my own. And because you're giving me business, I'm giving them business, because now running with the contracts, the consultancies, and the court, the demand letters for people they didn't pay and all that. That's how I now got my second location just this year.
Well done.
And that is because they don't want to lose the space. I told them, I'm not going to pay you. I don't have money for an office in Upper Hill, guys. I'm sorry. And like, no, we just need someone to sit here. I'm like, just someone?
I can sit here.
Sitting? With your work? Good. So we just did an agreement and like, sikuja kuniruka and everything. Like, Halima, you're very legal. I'm like, yes, I am. And that's why you hired. Yeah, I'm like, so that's how I got my second, that office space in Upper Hill. That made me so happy. It's still very surreal because it's very new. I just walk there sometimes and I'm like,
is this me? Is this my office?
So what am I supposed to place around here and everything?
The two of you are really inspiring me, because what it sounds like is when you're ready and you take the leap of faith, then something will meet you. But you have to take the leap of faith. You have to say that I'm going out to do this. So now my next question, or what I want to understand, is where are you now? Right? You were started, but now you're at this place where, let us know where you are. Are you in thriving? Are you in still trying to get myself together? Are you at I'm still starting, but I see a vision, I see a future? Where are you in that journey? What does that look like for a person who's 10 years in and a person who's 2 years in? Obviously, understanding that it is not the same. There could be two people who are 10 years in and their stories would be very different. And someone who's starting in their stories would be very different. But for you, where are you now? What does this legal entrepreneurship actually look like on a day-to-day basis? We understand lawyer, work, brief, client, but now the business side of things, the business developing, the hiring, the managing people, what does that look like now, and where are you at?
If you'd asked Veronica running her farm in 2016, looking at me right now, she'd say, yeah, this is what success looks like, maybe, yeah? But from where I sit right now, I think I'm still learning, even while I'm saying 10 years post registration and all that. I'm still learning, and it's a journey. So many things are coming up right now. We have AI, we have tech that we need to take into consideration when we are running our businesses. We didn't have that 10 years ago. And she's talking about digital filings and not having a physical space. When I was starting my farm, we still had physical court. We still had to serve documents physically. You still had to have an office or somewhere where documents could be delivered and stamped, because that's the only way you'd prove that this document has been received.
Copies.
Yes.
One to be received
3
and
copies,
put in the file.
Yeah, for the letters it's 2, for
Yes.
pleading it's 3, because you have 1 for the court, 1 yours and 1 for the other party. So in my time, you had to have a physical office, whether it's the virtual where you have just the identity package or a space you're sharing with someone. You had to have a space. And anyway, going back to your question, what does it look like right now? So my journey has been long. Let me say it has been long. Yes, the 10 years feel like 100 sometimes, and I'd attribute a lot of that to, there's a point in time where I was really closed off. So I wasn't interacting with other entrepreneurs. I'm so impressed with her having a community where they're able to share ideas and do all that. But for me, I feel that there was a huge part of those 10 years where I was trying to do things alone, trying to figure things out by myself, because it was a sole proprietorship. I have to figure out the law side of things, and at the same time, I had to figure out the business side of things. So I need to get the clients, sit down, do the work, then also figure out, okay, I need to make payments, make payroll, pay my staff, pay rent, pay all the bills that needed to be paid. So if you walk that journey alone, it will be a very lonely journey. And don't forget, in the middle of all this, I had COVID. I had 2 children in the midst of all this. So it's been a journey. I think we have to take that also into consideration, even as you're thinking about starting your farm.
Did you have even like personal friends who are also going on this journey, or your friends were more like, in-house? And
so my closest friends, most of them were still employed. One was a partner at a farm. Okay, 2 at some point. Both of them were 2 of my friends were partners at a farm. One was just recently became a partner, and then now the rest have ventured into other things. But my close friends were, I'd say, essentially employed. I think
so they could not relate.
They could not relate. And then there's a line that I keep repeating, because I learned it. I believe I learned it last year. It was, stop asking for directions from people who have never been where you're going. And I think that describes a lot of my journey in entrepreneurship, because I kept asking for advice from people who've never run a business, who don't know the challenges and the pitfalls of it being end month, and you honestly don't know where this check is going to come from, or where this payment is going to come from, or not even just the check. Who am I going to brainstorm with? Because I need to come up with a strategic plan. Unfortunately, our education system, the LSK or Kenya School of Law, not LSK, the Kenya School of Law and undergrad, no one sat us down to teach us. Okay, apart from LPM, which honestly, what is a stapler? I don't know what impact that really has. But no one sat us down to tell us, you need a business plan, you need to have a strategic plan, you need to have SOPs in place. So, and for some of us who...
SOPs, for those who are like,
standard operating procedures for various tasks in the office, to ensure that if I'm not there, this will still be done. So if a client walks in and they need to maybe have a divorce filed. There's a system in place, so you know this is what I need from this client. These are the details I require to be able to even draw up the engagement letter, draw up the raise the invoice, and draw up the pleadings. So I did not have that for a huge chunk of my legal career or my entrepreneurship journey.
Sorry, this is something you said about it's end month and you're trying to think, where am I pulling resources from? Did you have those times when it is end month and you have to pay people and you really are at a point of at a loss?
Yeah, I did.
And what did you do?
Leaned on my friends and my family. A lot of it was leaning in. I think at some point my brother knew when he saw when my brother saw my call, he was just like, I know what this is about.
Like
or my husband is like, okay, I know, yeah. But I think going back to what I was saying about joining up or teaming up with people who are already on this journey, if I had known that sometimes it takes getting a credit line or getting a loan from the bank to ensure that some of these bills are paid, maybe I wouldn't have struggled so much in the past. Of course, there's the challenge of you being a sole proprietor, and maybe your accounts are not what the bank deems as sufficient to be able to give you credit. But I think my mindset was so closed off. I was thinking like an employee, because those are the people I was surrounding myself with. Because employees just, okay, in my experience, yes, you work, you get paid. Yeah. And there was a point where I was actually doing the work, and maybe there are payments out there which haven't been paid, or you're expecting a judgment, and this money, you know, I don't know whether you have those situations in litigation where you have the judgment in hand, you even instructed an auctioneer, and then you get a notice of appeal or an application for stay. And at that point, you already know this amount is going to go to this and this and this. You've already structured that payment and where it's going to go. So I had several instances like that. So it got to a point where I even had to pivot and think about it critically and realize I need to do much more than litigation. Like I need to do other things or
other streams of income within the legal
profession. Again, as I'm saying, the people I was surrounding myself with maybe could not relate to the struggles that I was going through. And not to say that I didn't have good days. I had good days. There are days when those judgments were paid and the check came through, and you need that community, because if you have someone in there who's telling you, you need to invest for the next rainy day. Because I remember, and this is something I usually tell my friends, right before COVID hit, there's a payment that came through. It was a good payment. What did I do? I renovated my space. I redid the walls, did gypsum and nini.
Just before COVID?
This is in Feb.
Oh, yes, March
2020, we were on lockdown.
And you don't need your office.
I don't need the space for. I think we closed down for 6 months.
Yeah,
we closed down for 6 months. I thank God the landlord I had at the time had given us grace, so he didn't require us to make payments during the COVID period, but we were able to maybe recoup. He was able to recoup once we resumed operations. Okay. But yeah. Anyway, no one knew that COVID was coming. But something I have now learned, or something that I keep telling people, is if you're starting your farm, and there's a conversation I was having with a friend of mine, she was thinking about starting her farm, and I told her, for me, you need to have a nest egg. And that's the lesson that's the gospel, a nest egg. Before you even think about quitting that job. Or
please explain to people what the...
So for me, my definition of nest egg is I need to have at least, it depends on person to person, but at least 1 month or 1 year's expenses saved up, or a reserve for 1 year's expenses. There are times when you'll deplete it, of course, but before you quit that job, between 6 months to 1 year reserve, where you're sure if no clients walks in that door, or no client calls me, I'm able to keep running my expenses and living my life as I am right now. So it's
6 months to 1 year.
For me, complete minimum would be 6 months, because again, you never know when the next COVID will hit, or Ebola, or whatever, hantavirus, I know. Yes. God forbid. Yeah. But and as I said, it's a lesson that I'm still learning. I think for me, one of the things that I'm really trying to make sure I do is not to close myself off from learning new things. I need to be open to learning a lot more, because I don't think there's one person who would say they know everything, especially with legal entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. So where you are now, from how you're speaking, is you are at the curve, I guess. Like you've just, or rather I should ask, when did you begin to figure things out? When did things begin to be sustainable? And what did you do to sort of navigate that curve?
You know, people have asked me this question, and because there's been a significant change between the farm that I was running maybe 3 years ago and the farm that I'm running right now. And of course, I'd want to say that here's the magic trick, here's the code, this is what you need to use. But I think it was a lot of factors. Number one, I had to change my mindset, because it all starts from here.
Yes.
If you don't believe that you can have the farm of your dreams, then you won't have it. You won't have it. And more than just thinking it or dreaming it, then you need to make steps towards achieving that. I think for a long time, I kept saying, I need to move to Westlands. I can't tell you what had put it in my heart that I need to have my office in Westlands. I was just really motivated to move to Westlands. The space I had wasn't bad, but there were so many issues with CBD. Every time there was mandamano or riots, we'd have to close down. We'd have to get to be disrupted. Then, of course, there's the issue of parking. Clients would not maybe want to meet in the office because they'll have challenges figuring out where to park their cars. And then also, the need to have it in CBD was erased, because once we went virtual, once the filings were virtual, then there was no need to be very close to Milimani or the Supreme Court or wherever. You could basically run your farm from anywhere.
Yes.
So, yeah, I had that calling in me. I need to move to Westlands. And aside from moving the farm physically, I also embraced new strategies towards business development, because for a long time, most of our business was referral work. A lot of our work was from people who referred clients to us.
Yes.
So, as I said, I had to pivot. And
you said that before you had spent a lot of time listening to people who could not relate to you. So is it that you finally found people that were able to help you think like an entrepreneur?
Thank you for that, because now I need to really highlight the need to have friends or people around you who actually see your vision and are as motivated as you are to see, seeing it come to fruition.
Okay.
Because I think there's a friend group of mine. I've had these same friends since first year of campus. And these ladies, we would sit down. We'd actually have board meetings, because they are my informal board, actually.
Wow.
We'd have board meetings. You'd give out your goals for the year. So I think we started mid-year or something, but we sat down maybe 2-3 years ago. You give out your goals, and then you tell us,
report.
How do you intend to do this? We always laugh because, again, as I said, I was so closed off. I wasn't into corporate speak and all these things. So I gave them my goals, and one of them is like, those are not SMART goals. So I took offense. I'm like, what do you mean those are not SMART goals? And they're like, no, I mean SMART, the
Yes.
I didn't, I'll be honest, as I'm saying, I was closed off in my own little world and dealing with my own issues. I didn't take time to learn some of these things. So they taught me these things. They taught me how to make goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, and that they have a time frame or a time limit, so that you're able to measure and see whether or not you're achieving these goals. And they kept me accountable, and we'd meet every quarter. I think we are due for a meeting soon, but yeah, we review our goals and all that. So that really helped open up my brain and my mind about, okay, I should be doing things this way. They'd also experienced work in bigger farms where they have these systems in place. So it's also tapping into that and getting that knowledge. You don't have to like go ask.
You don't have to have worked at Big Law to know how Big Law works.
Exactly. Okay. I also have another friend of mine who had run a farm with those standards, so he also chipped in and gave me his input on some of these things. We still collaborate from time to time. He's also running his own farm on the side. So yes, surrounding myself with people who now actually have experienced that journey, and them helping me look beyond that. Then also I need to mention that I was able to interact with, I don't know whether I'd say young man, there's a guy who reached out to me on LinkedIn and told me about upgrading my website and SEOs and putting my name out there. So this was the first time I was even considering any of this, because I had a website, but it was just a basic website at the time.
And more to tick the box of,
I have a website. Exactly. So this guy came, we sat down, he gave me his offer, he told me what he wants to do and all that, and he was able to redesign my website. That was maybe, I'd say 2 years ago. 2 years ago we redid my website. He optimized it for SEOs and all those things, and the calls started coming in. So you get leads, but then you see it's just not just the website. You need to also have articles in place. You need to do the work. Make sure that whatever you're marketing or putting out there is actually genuine. But I also had to pivot again. I've redid my website recently and all that. But that was also a huge stepping stone in putting my name out there or getting the farm out there to be able to bring in more work.
Fantastic. Tell us, where are you now? You are a year and a half. What does that look like?
A lot of learning, not learning on the gravel, literally, the thorns, and that's where you need to have a four-wheeled. I'm in the thick of it. But I like it. You see the pressure points of diamonds? I really like it because now it's teaching me to take a day at a time. And
I can see your morning affirmations. I'm a diamond.
Yeah.
Shine bright.
Shine bright like a diamond. And also realizing that you can't handle everything today. You can't handle everything today. I was very... coming to think about the goals, last year when we've closed off the year, I had my own end of year party meeting, me and myself.
One person party.
Oh yes, and it was sort of planned, everything, dress up, carry your notebooks and your laptop, go have sushi and and have a conversation.
Okay. Go boss, babe.
So as much as you're in the thick of it, or I'm in the thick of it, and that's why, hence the community, and being very specific, we need the younger lawyers first, is first, lack of mentorship. And we would have sat and tried and did emails to LSK, and now they would remember about us maybe in 2028 when they are doing elections again to try and I mean, it's okay, we understand, it's like government, but what can I do between now and then? You can. By then my farm should be like 3-4 years. What will I have? What would I have accomplished then? What are the lessons that I would have learned, and who am I learning them with? So through the process, especially last year, the first year, I don't know about you, but I lost money. My nest egg was home, my mother's house. If it fails,
You go home.
I go home.
What do you mean when you say you lost money? Like you had work and people were not paying you?
I didn't know how to. First of all, I had never done litigation. My first criminal case was a pro bono because it's my auntie got into some weird issues, and then that magistrate in Thika thrashed me in front, and then it's in front of my father. And now he's wondering, nimekuwa nikilipa school fees ya nini?
Are you truly an advocate?
But now, you know, she wants to feel some type of way, and I was like, have I gotten the job done? Yes. Then the second criminal work was it was international criminal. It was on these ants. Remember the ants case?
Oh yes,
there
was a case where
the smuggling of ants and everything
ants into the country or out of the country?
Out of the country.
Yes.
I even seniors had never worked with ants. Everybody was asking me, what? They were caught with ants, like KWS with ants. The kind of reading I read. And you know, when you're dealing with international clients, first of all, you're young and you're African.
Where did you get these clients? Or where did they find
Story
you?
of another day.
Okay.
But so they first, even when they're being called and told your kids have been arrested, they're like, it's just ants. You know, they're thinking you're calling to con them and everything. So first, even getting them to pay is a headache. So they do deposit, then after that, and you know, with these kids, the aim, that's why I keep saying my farm is more solution oriented. You ask a client, what do you want? We want our kids to go home, go back to school. Sawa. Let's work it out like that. That we can, even when I met the advocates there, seniors, and I'm asking them, so you guys, we are doing plea today. No, not guilty. I'm so you want us to work with you? Me, I end up saying guilty and to plead again. And you know, we all did that. Those guys just paid their money, and within 2 months they were out. I was not ready to handle a case at JKIA for 6 months, trying to argue about ants.
Yeah,
it is very new. It is very so that there I lost money, but I got a lot of referrals, and also it put me in an international map. Like, I just get calls from BBC asking me for interviews and things like that, and I'm like, oh, here we go. It's not so thick after all.
So moral of the story, if somebody calls you and the issue is ants or butterflies,
you
take
just
the brief.
Take the brief. Eggs, ostrich eggs, whatever. Just take the brief. You'll figure out uko mbele. Because even the magistrate was shocked, was not sure, it took a lot. She even said, I can give you a judgment next week, but I need the week to read, to figure things out, to understand what is this that we're dealing with. And you see, now, every year around that rally time, there's someone who's caught with ants. Even this year, someone who's caught with ants.
Oh,
You're still smuggling. Those things are gold, by the way. So,
what kind of ants are they?
They're called mesocephalates. They just come up during the cold season. Yeah, that's the species.
On me for even being able to say that word.
So, such experiences have really helped me grow. They've helped me learn and helped me understand. I'm able to sit down and say, you know, I am sorry. Because I get a lot of, utanfanyia hii na pesa ngapi, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm not the one to keep calling you for money. So I'll tell you this, pay this deposit, and then the next tukimaliza. And then you call me after 2 days and tell me you've got someone to do it for 20K. I'm like, let's work with that one, by the way. I am like, roho safi, let's work with that one. Then you'll tell me how it goes after your case is done. And I've had like 20, 30, 40% come back. The rest, some other percentage give up. Then the others, they're just still fighting with that lawyer. Because, I mean, if I need 20K urgently, you know, I'll take your matter and do an application real quick. Whether it fails or flops or whatever. See, I've taken my 15, you're 5 single mukutafuta. You get. So, taking it a step at a time is what I have learned.
Fantastic. So, there are so many things that you have brought up, but we need to bring this to a close. So I need to understand from the two of you, because there's so many beautiful nuggets you've picked, you've sort of brought out in your journeys. But I need to understand from the two of you, what does your idea of successful legal entrepreneurship look like? Is it creating a legacy firm? Is it being a rich solopreneur? What does that look like for you?
For me, right now, it's creating a legacy farm. I need to create something that will outlive me, number one, and then something that's impactful, not only to me in my pocket, but also to the people who work with me in the farm and to the people we serve, our clients and the society at large. So if we are taking the ESG, whatever's the S, we have to make sure that we are catering for the society at large. I mean. So for me, that's my idea of a successful law firm, something that will outlive me, something that will be impactful on the society, both within and without.
Madam Legacy. Are you Madam Rich Solopreneur?
Amen to that. But also being a first generational lawyer in my family, also really want something that will outlive me. I have siblings. I'm the firstborn, and I have siblings who, even if they were given another chance, they would not want to be a lawyer. Why? Because they saw the kind of studying I did at KSL. I quit work, I went home, and all I did was study. Like so they were like, this is too much studying. So I'd like them, or maybe others who've not taken a different path, to res ipsa loquitur for my farm.
Yes. Yes.
To say, by the way, it can actually work. And I actually see the admiration, especially from my mom. My dad still doesn't get what exactly I do, because she's like, how do you work from home? How are you still paying rent? But my mom has visited me severally. I've worked at home severally, and she sees I will wake up and do some work for a few hours, and then I go out. And she admires the kind of freedom. Probably these are the things she prayed for. She's been employed since I knew her. So she really admires to see that, you can actually pick your bag and go, wake up and go for a run, and not want to be in the office by 8 or such things.
Yes.
So I would want people, and also for the young ones, I have social media channels for my farm. And most of what I love doing there is trying to educate and trying to leave an impact, especially to people at KSL. KSL can drive you crazy, and it's a headache. It's a headache, and I wouldn't want people to give up. Val and I in the same farm in KSL, and we really pushed each other. Really pushed each other. And that's why we've come with Beyond the Robe, because we know how it slit our throats. So I would like the young ones, those that are, we all in legal, we're always talking about seniors.
Yes.
Nobody talks about juniors. Nobody thinks about juniors.
We talk about juniors.
Thinking about them and showing them that you can do this. You can actually do this. Just get your foot out. You'll figure it out. So, yeah.
Fantastic. All right. What would you say, because she's already spoken to that, what would you say to the anyone who's watching this and who's looking at you and saying 10 years in and they're thinking, I want to start, I want to try? What would you say to them?
Number one, don't do this journey alone. In as much as you're a solopreneur, you want to do it to run the farm by yourself, please surround yourself with a support system or people who are able to help you walk that journey, because it's a lonely journey. That's number one. Number two, nest egg. Before you venture out, nest egg. And number three, set up those systems early so that you're able to have the farm keep running even when you're not there. There's a lesson, just to add, there's a lesson I learned from Ronald's LLP. There's a session I attended where they were doing some trainings on tax. And after the session, we were asking him, okay, how are you able to do all this? Because you see, from where we sit, he's done great things. And for him, his lesson to us was, I trained people to be little Ronalds. Like, I trained people to do the work the way I would have done it. And I think for me, that's a challenge that I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to achieve creating little me's wherever in my office, so that even if I'm not there, the standard, the quality, everything is the same. Yeah, there's no difference if I'm in the office and when I'm not in the office. And as a founder, I think that's where you should, because you see, there's a difference between a founder and an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And I believe we should all be moving towards being founders and not entrepreneurs. Don't be so stingy with that
Yourself.
yeah, and that ownership of your farm. Like, open it up and teach other people to be little use, or be the kind of work you'd have done, they can also replicate it.
Fantastic. Ladies, you have been so inspiring. I hope to continue this conversation. I have personally learned so many things from you. I think biggest of them all is just take that leap of faith, and something will meet you on the other end. So that is a wrap for our conversation. Thank you so much.